basically log rocket stove. And I thought it'd be cool to try it, but to make a bigger, better version, and sees how it's like 30 below 0 Celsius, we need something to warm up on anyway. Fell over. Damn camera fell over. It was in the bucket. I thought, what a beautiful action shot that would be. And hiding in here, I think, is the perfect piece to build, what are we calling it? Log rocket stove, log, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen them on YouTube. This is big. This is a bigger piece of wood. So let's dig it out. And if you can hear the tractor rattling in the background, you think, oh man, that's noisy. Wish he'd shut that off. Hell no. He's got this old girl back on her feet. A little bit of gelled up fuel. Fix that problem. And so just think of it as ambiance in the background. This soothing thrum of the Kubota diesel. I thought I was gonna get it without having to, you know, use any muscle power. But, you know, we don't want to damage it here before we even get started. All right. Oh man, that's slippery. I mean, so you can see how that's handy, right? Now, there's a lot of names for different tools, but I said log PV. Somebody's probably going to disagree with me. Cant hook. That says cant hook. Cant hook? I mean, I don't really like the way that sounds, you know. More of like a can hook, you know. We don't cant around here. All right, this is behind the scenes. The tractor's still over there. And this is a road that we got to go out on. So I'm not going to do that shot where they drive over their camera, because I only got one camera right now, and you know, that seems like risky business, and it's cold, but I do think, you know, I like that perspective, you know. So yeah, like that. See, isn't that nice? Oh, it's beautiful. Just enjoy the winter serenity, and I'll be right back. Are you guys okay? See, that's not so bad, right? Give you enough time to run to the fridge and grab a beer or something. Oh no. See, just like my other video, nobody paying attention to the tools. Laying in the snow. Well, this time of year, everything's laying in the snow. I've seen a lot of these, and well, they're little weenie ones. Logs about that long, from here to there, a foot maybe. Now I'm assuming that's because they're fashioning something that maybe is realistic for you to pack with you. You're gonna go on a hike, you're gonna take it with you, or it's a survival situation. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't hike around in the woods with a block of firewood on my back, and I sure in the heck am not hiking into the woods far enough where I'm gonna have to light some sort of rocket stove to be cooking some dehydrated craft dinner.
I'm not going to need to eat for a week after this one.
I think it's time to start making some incisions here. You might have saw these in my firewood video. Pair of chaps. Well, they're not just stylish. I think I'm pretty handsome with 2 legs and not bleeding to death, so I try to do everything I can to keep it that way. See, you know, safety videos, I'm sure that says you're never supposed to cut with the tip. But you gotta be careful. Get another camera. Moving you guys around all the time. A lot of work. Probably can't see in there because of the light, but I will see what we can see. But and there's the full depth of the bar. So I don't know. Well, what is that? It's up to the yellow line. That's why I wore this coat today, actually, just for this purpose. So I didn't have to run that measuring tape. I don't have to take the gloves off. See, that only gets us halfway. And I feel like that's a real waste of the log. Okay, I've regrouped. I wasn't sure how I was going to make that hole deeper. I thought, well, we could cut it from the other end with the chainsaw and just knock out the middle. But I thought, man, you know, is that authentic? I've never seen one of these log rocket bushcraft stoves with a hole right through the bottom, I don't think. And then I thought, well, then there's snow, you know. I mean, what if it gets a little soggy on the bottom, puts out the fire in the middle of the night, could freeze to death. So I think what we've settled on here is, because of course, in addition to your tractor and your chainsaw, you know, in a survival outdoor application, you're probably going to be packing your cordless drill, and you're going to have handy 3 feet of extension with a bore bit on the end, and put in our bottom hole. What are we calling that? The oven hole? That's the chimney, and that's the fuel port. That's exactly what that's going to be. You'll see here at the end of the video. That's the fuel injection port, actually. So first thing we got to do here is mark out. Now, you don't want to get the fuel injection port the wrong size. You know, you don't want to underfuel the rocket. You don't want to overfuel the rocket. So it's very, you know, it's very technical. You know, I'd explain how to calculate the size of the hole, but it's probably boring. All right. A little debris in there. We should be able to hit that. Oh, got a little extra piece. It'll burn out. But I think that's perfect. That's perfect. You got to have a gauge, go no go gauge to check the injection port. There, yeah, there you go. It's the right size. Any survival movie you see, they're not stuck out in the woods for 10 minutes. I mean, they're stuck out there for a long time before somebody notices they're missing, and they round up a search plane, and then a bear probably ate their leg, and then a wolf comes, and what was that guy? He lived in a school bus and his moose fell in the river. Is there anybody here? Guess not! Now I'm gonna suggest if you're building a, what do we get, survival stove, log rocket, cooking contraption as big as this, you're probably not want to be hiking alone. You're probably going to need a buddy to stand it up with you. You know, I'll tell you what, I'm not the sharpest knife in the block sometimes. I was just about getting ready to peavy this thing out of the bucket under manpower. Why don't we just start the tractor up? All right, we got the injection port, I got the chimney. I saved a little bit of the dry shavings to get it going. What do you say we light it? So we just stuck a little piece of paper in the back. I mean, that's something you would have in a survival deal. Maybe a little bit of a few wood shavings I think you would have. I don't really want to get too carried away, just a little bit. I don't know if any of you growing up, maybe you went hunting, or it was probably on a camping trip. You're on a camping trip and your dad maybe gives you one match and says, well, you got to start the campfire, and then but you only get this one match. So what I recommend here is a perpetual match, right? Then you can, you know, you can dig around as much as you want, because let's remember, this is a survival situation. Look at that, see? Now, remember, it's dry kindling. We've used some dry shavings, so you want to be careful lighting it, right? Because, you know, the old rocket stove, she can get going pretty quick. Oh, look at that. Oh my God. Whoa, that kindling was dry? Whoa, we're off to the races here. I got some dry kindling on hand. You want to have that pre-prepped to start. Uh-oh, see, it's starting to go out. So I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here. This is also important, but for professionals. This is survival fluid, okay? It's specifically formulated just for the log rocket stove. So you can just go like that a little bit. There you go. You don't want that kindling going out, but remember, only if you have safety approved survival fluid, okay? You don't want to be mucking around with something that could get you in trouble. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, just a few little in there. Now, you don't want to force it, I don't think. If you feel like you don't quite have a good draw going, you know, what you can do, I think, I've seen them in survival, you know, you see guys go like this, eh? They get down and they go. They blow on it, right? You see how that gets it going pretty good, but I'm gonna tell you, what you're really gonna wanna get up to, I think, because remember, we specially formulated this port for injection. There's one other thing that you're gonna want in your survival kit. And a little survival food too never hurt anybody, so just go ahead. Oh yeah. Now we're talking. You give her a little. See how good that fuel injection works? Oh yeah, see now you got good chimney draw going out the top. Now I know what you're thinking. The backpack's probably getting a little heavy now, because now I'm telling you, well, you got to bring your cordless blower too, because you know you're gonna want to keep that fire going. But I mean, do you really want to be sticking your face down by that burning hole? I mean, that doesn't seem safe, so this is a good alternative. I don't want this to go out. Like, I know that you think that we've built a stove out of actual wood, that it would just catch on fire, but solid wood does not burn as easy as you'd think. I kind of just like the sound it makes. It really does. It sounds like a rocket. Oh yeah, that's cool. In all seriousness, if I quit mucking around with that blower, you can see in there, see it draws right up the chimney. Draws right up the chimney, that's cool. Because if you remember, it's not a straight hole right through, right? We had, we drilled the hole, so there was some connecting material left in there. So I think it's kind of got to burn through that. I can see though, like if you were doing this, that you'd either start cooking right away and cook your beans and spaghetti or whatever you're doing out there, because you got to feed the fire. And this is dry wood. I'd assume if you're mucking around out in the woods, it's not dry wood you're going to find. Good chance of that. It just needs a little persuasion. Plus it's fun. There. See, it's wise to empty your survival fluid container, you know, if you know you're not going to need it again, because you don't want survival fluid dripping out in your pack or something. You don't want that stuff, you know, getting in your drawers or whatever. I'm going to be honest with you, I just kind of like the blower. It works so good. Oh, we got to get a better shot of that. Let's get it right in there for the turbo shot. Now we're talking. It's caught all that wood on the inside on fire. Oh man, that's fun. Have to be that small now. I mean, that opening, I mean, it's at least twice as big as it was when I started. I'm gonna load some wood into it. Now I don't want to feed this, like it's 30 below zero right now, so unless you were cuddled up to this thing, I'd like to take a break from outside. I'm gonna load it full of wood, top and bottom, I think, just to give it, you know, make sure it's got some traction. And then I honestly don't know. I mean, I don't want it to go out. I don't think it will. I don't know what to expect, so I'm just going to load it up, leave it, and we'll come back and check on it from time to time. I mean, this is authentic anyways, because I mean, if you're stuck somewhere out in the woods, you're gonna be able to find a couple pieces of wood, you know. And I mean, you packed your chainsaw and your drill and your torch and everything. I mean, you're obviously well prepared, bushcraft individual, highly qualified. I mean, I just got my qualification here 3 minutes ago when I lit this. I mean, I'm pretty confident. I hope this sound is coming through. Like, it's like we have a baby tiger torch lit. Let's drop some down from the top, too. I wonder if we drop it down. Well, if I look real... Oh, it didn't like that. Oh no, it just snuffed it out a little bit. We're safe. It just, it dropped the bottom where the drill had been. It just dropped that out. Now that piece is too big. Let's get some little pieces in there. See what it does. There we go. If you're not gonna pack the, if you're not willing to pack the cordless drill and the chainsaw to make your log stove, I definitely say you'd want to bring this. I mean, I don't see a scenario where you could find wood so terrible that this wouldn't do the trick. Here, I also think I discovered why they call it a rocket stove, because this here is where the propulsion comes out. Another piece in there now. Just more the merrier, because like I say, I mean, guy, leave this thing alone. You don't want it to run out of juice, go out. So these little sticks, plus this spruce is pretty dry that I'm putting in there. I didn't like that. That's funny, if you get this at the wrong angle, it does the opposite of what you want. It's not feeding the oxygen in, it's almost like it's robbing it if you get it the wrong way. Okay, this baby's been lit, I don't know, an hour? And that hole, if you remember my injection port measurement, it's about 3 times the size it was when we started. And the chimney really hasn't gained much. But it is whistling now. All on its own. Man, that works incredibly well. You can see why the miniature versions would be preferable for heating up your din-din. That's for turbo cooking. Okay, I just got back here to have a look at our rocket stove. So it has been just shy, about 4 hours since this was lit. That hole's about as big around as a basketball. I have not put any wood. I'll get this way up out of the heat. You can see down inside. I have not put any wood on this since I lit it. That's a bit of wood that you saw me put in. And I'll tell you, it is eating up this log. This log was 4 feet tall, and at the, well, I'd say at the, but the whole thing was about 28 to 30 inches in diameter. So I'm really curious to see how long this is gonna go. Getting down to a low of about -35 Celsius tonight. So we're just gonna let this go, and we can have a look and see what it looks like in the morning. Now, of course, I did bring this down with me just for fun, because not that it needs any help. Ah, that's fantastic. Well, there you have it. Log rocket, rocket stove, Swedish log, Finnish torch. I saw a ton of names for them. Different styles of making them. But the supersized version seemed a lot more fun to me. Oh, are you guys still watching? Oh, the fire went out. I'm just cleaning up. Were you waiting for me to cook a hot dog on it or something?